All right, guys, we are online. We're doing the live stream show pre-show. Orrian and Miguel, we're going to wait for a few seconds to see if our producer or our director hops on, and we'll if we can get them to hop on and give us a sound check, we'll go ahead. So, and of course, my dog just busted in the room. That's awesome. I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit so I can see. All right, so do we have anybody listening? Do we have any of our production team on? Amy, Terry, Rayanne? Not yet. Not yet. Give it a minute maybe, or 30 seconds. Usually they hop on.
They forgot about us.
They did, man. They forgot about us. That's not good.
Exciting guests or something.
I guess, right? They're tired of listening and looking at me is what it is. So I'm trying to look under my camera. I think I should move my camera a little bit more so I can see the chat, if there's any chat, and not have my camera all messed up here. All right, so I don't see anybody on. I don't have to get on those guys, and not sure what's going on here. You know, it's those people on the West Coast, I'm telling you. They're like 3 hours behind, and they just, it's like still the highlight of your day here. We're getting ready to go to bed. So I was thinking about that the other day when I was emailing some folks out in California, and I'm going, holy crap, no wonder they're wanting something from me. It's only 4, it's like, 6 o'clock there. It's 9 o'clock in bedtime here. So guys, we'll talk real quick, and maybe this is something you can build into the show when you're talking. But how the show started was what is it? Amy calls him the OG of the show, Brandon Cottle, who is in the I think he's in the I think he lives in Santa Ana or that area out that way. We were chatting one day on how we could get the word out about this community and how good this community is to network people and bring people in. And he thought we had a great idea of, like, if we could reach out to the people that were not in technology, that wanted to get into technology, that may not know how to get into technology. A lot of the recruiters you talk to or the LinkedIn articles you read say, the best way to get a job is network, right? Not just applying online. And trust me, as a person that had just went through that a couple months ago, I must have applied for 20, 30 jobs on LinkedIn, and I heard back from one, right? It was my network that got me the job that I'm in now. So anyway, we decided we were going to start this live stream show. And of course, Brandon, he's an awesome leader. He's like, okay, so we want to do, go do it.
Yeah. Perfect.
So we were talking, and he says, well, all the so you got to understand, Brandon and I are both in our 50s. So we say all the young kids, all the young people that actually want to get into this, they're not watching YouTube necessarily. Although I argued that fact. I said they're watching YouTube. He's like, no, they're doing Twitch. I'm like, I don't even know what Twitch. I know what Twitch is, but I've never watched Twitch. I don't know what Twitch is. He's like, all right, we got to do this. And so I basically, in a week and a half, learned. I did a little bit of research. It just happened at my last job. I had a guy that worked with me that did game streaming on Twitch. And so he kind of told me, oh yeah, you want to use this tool called OBS. It's free. It's a great tool. And it is, by the way. But like anything free and open source, you got to tweak it yourself a lot. And so I had to learn how to do like scene switching. So when we do this in one cut, we do this in 15 minutes, we do this live. We don't do a lot of editing. And that's because I don't know how to do all that stuff, or didn't have the time. On top of that, I'm learning, but I don't have a lot of the time coming on the front and back of this. So we started to grow our production team a little bit, and we're looking for people to help us. I'll talk about a new person on our team. She was a guest a few weeks ago. She's helping me with post-production, which is clipping the video. We usually clip this section out of the video that we load up. We have to do a little bit of tweaking on Twitch because we don't Twitch enough for them to keep our video up there. So if we make a highlight of it, it'll stay up there, and then we upload to YouTube. And I'm not complaining, but our stream is a little plain because yours truly doesn't know how to do all the like flashing, and like Miguel's like, you do like an arrow saying, yo, I can't do all that stuff. So give me a second. I'm going to close my door here.
No worries.
So
The dog,
anyway,
the dog,
Brandon and
your
I have
dog
been
wants.
building this up, and we're looking to have people move into to helping us. And we were thinking, as hey Amy, she's on. All right, Amy, we were just bad mouthing you because you weren't on to give us a sound check. Can you hear us? Okay. Oops. She says hi to you guys.
Well, Tom, Miguel and I are happy to send you some resumes from TechSF students who would love to help you with the post production. So just
Definitely.
let us
So
know. I don't even know that we need a job description. We'll just
no,
forward you
they
resumes.
can write their own. So right now, Rayanne is on and Amy's on. So we were chatting, Rayanne and Amy, about possibly getting some people to help us snazz up our videos. We just had Rayanne join the team this week. She's going to do a little bit of that post production, but we also are looking for people who want to help. And hey, listen, if I can get somebody to replace me as the host, I'm all for that. I love doing this, but it's not about me. It's about building this. So we were talking about, yeah, Amy says the more the merrier. We were talking about, guest hosts. And, there's some times where I can't host because I've got, I'm running, I'm doing training and I'm doing consulting and I'm doing, like, for example, in May, I'm going to be doing the conference, the HCI Support World Live conference. And so I tried to do this at the last conference in November. I ran the show from one of the breakout rooms. It was challenging because if you go to a conference, the community, and if people are listening to this and you people trying to get into technology and you want to find out more about HDI and HDI local chapters, you go to one of those conferences and it is like your family. You are instantly family, and you are just trying to find squeeze doing this little 15-minute show during that conference in the evening was challenging because it's just a huge family. So Amy, Orrian says he can send us some resumes for some interns that might be wanting to learn or apply what they have been learning to help our show out. I know Rayanne is doing some of our post production now, and I'm sure she could use some help, especially if she can't get to it at certain times. And I'm also, Orrian, looking to have somebody possibly run the streaming behind the scenes. So I'm just chatting with you, and I'm not. Right now, if you saw my setup, I've got you guys over here on Zoom. I've got the OBS in front of me to run it, and over here I've got the kind of the script, the questions and stuff. So I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind just looking at one monitor and talking.
you need some support.
Yeah,
and
yeah, exactly.
we've got it. Two of our partners, the Bay Area Video Coalition, as well as Baycat down in Bayview Hunters Point, they've got just really talented students that are always looking for what we call work-based learning. So internships, fellowships, and then, it's a resume builder for them. So let it, we can chat more offline.
That is great. Yeah, absolutely. And I know Amy I think she's in your area, and I know, that, she can, hook up with you as well off the show to talk about this. And I'd love to meet with, like, we'd like to try to meet as a production team and stuff, but I would love to, get some names from you and resumes, whatever, and we could interview them, and let them know, see if they're interested in things like that. So
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I love it. So I tell you what, I know it's been a while since we've had two guests on our show. Amy, I'm not even sure we've had two since you've been our executive producer. So, yeah, the interview. So Rand says the interview is terrifying. We put her through the ringer to get the post-production director. So, anyway, what I was going to say is I'm going to step away for a few minutes. I'm going to refill this because I'm not going to be doing a lot of the talking, and I'm going to sit back and listen to our two guests here. So we'll be back here in less than a minute. This is the HDI Local Chapters live stream show. I am your host, Tom Wilk, and I want to welcome all of you, whether you're watching us live on Twitch tonight or you're watching a stream on our YouTube or Twitch channels. Remember just to, to like us, subscribe, so we can help share this great information with our community. Also, our show is brought to you by Robert Half Technologies. They are a sponsor. They are a talent solutions firm and a leading provider of technology professionals that you need to build, deploy, and operate technology in the digital and cloud world. And you can find more about them at roberthalf.com/technology. Now, before we get started with the show, I want to welcome to our team a former guest from a few weeks ago, Rayanne Coppernell. She just joined our team as our post-production director. So welcome to the team, Rayanne. Love to have you. Okay, now, before we get started, let me talk about our guests. Today, our guests are Orrian Willis and Miguel Velasco. Orrian is a senior workforce development specialist and manager of the TechSF initiative at the San Francisco City at their Office of Economic and Workforce Development. As a first-generation college graduate, Orrian understands the barriers faced by many students and job seekers firsthand, and he keeps this in perspective in the front of his mind when working to solve for workforce system challenges. Now, Miguel is a senior workforce development specialist at the Office of Economic and Workforce Development, which is a part of the City and County of San Francisco, with several years of experience in workforce development programs, including private, nonprofit, public sectors, as well. And as a former associate director of workforce development in the nonprofit sector, he helped in the development, the implementation, and the execution of several program initiatives, including technology trainings, financial and rent relief funds, workforce development, and job placements, supporting hundreds of clients with direct services. Okay, so welcome to the show, guys. Welcome, Orrian. Welcome, Miguel.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you
for having us.
All right, so hey, Orrian, why don't you start off by telling us, what TechSF is and who do you serve?
Sure, and apologies for the long titles. That's just kind of typical government classification, is these super long, exuberant titles. But anyway, so Miguel and I come by way of TechSF here in San Francisco, and we're a mayoral initiative. So we receive funding from the City of San Francisco's tax base through the general fund, as well as some formula grants coming from the federal government. And then we take the money and we invest them in community-based organizations locally who train people to get ready for tech careers. And we've been around since 2012. Since then, we've placed more than 3,300 people into paid work opportunities here in San Francisco. And we're always looking for new ways to kind of support our community members, our learners. And so one very promising avenue for our folks to break into tech is through what we call work-based learning. So that's the internships, the fellowships, et cetera. And so I think a lot of what we're doing at TechSF really meshes with the vision and mission of HDI. And so we'd love to kind of provide your constituents, a background on who it is that we're serving, what our pipeline looks like, ways that your members can get involved, and potentially support those employers that make up HDI. And lastly, we have really tripled down on IT training this year. And so again, totally aligned with HDI and just excited to provide more context.
Awesome. So I know, Miguel, we have you on here as well to talk a little bit more, and I want to ask you guys, I think when we talked about it was the free write program. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, thank you so much for having us today. I really appreciate the time to share all these exciting opportunities with everyone. So yeah, this is the main focus right now during the presentation will be about the RITE program. The RITE program stands for the Rapid IT Training Employment Initiative, and it's an initiative from the Department of Labor and Jobs for the Future. So we got a grant to support the community members with Google IT Support Professional Certificate and CompTIA A+ Mentor Learning, which is an A+, right? So we have those two opportunities for clients that actually want to get into get it certified if they go in the CompTIA A+ certification route, but they also can get into the Google IT Support Professional Certificate, which is only a certificate. Okay, so there is a big difference between certification and a certificate, but they're all great, right? So they both are aimed to learn a little bit more about IT, especially people that don't have a strong background in IT, so they can learn on their own. Okay. Really important. The CompTIA one comes with some mentors, and so that's some support, extra support for the clients that are interested in this program. Really important to note is TechSF is one of the 5 sites across the U.S. So we're only one, right? One of the 5 sites. So that speaks volume about TechSF and what we do here in order to support the community that we're serving. Not directly, but through the CBOs that we fund as an organization. So through the RIDE program, it'll be probably like $1.5 million given in certifications. Those are just counting the CompTIA, right? Because some of them, and the CompTIA certifications are about $4,000, and we have several of those to give away and to provide for the community. So it's really important to know that it's a lot of money in free training for whoever is interested in this program. Okay, so again, this is free of charge. Okay,
wait, Miguel, did I hear you say you give away CompTIA training?
Yeah. So
wow.
Students don't have to pay those. Usually it's $4,000 to get certified, but
and there's a reason for that, because that's really good training. I mean, that's not like, that's really good stuff.
Right. It is an industry recognized. So it's something that will be good here in California. It will be good in, Florida and Texas. So it's industry recognizing it. It has a lot of weight when employers are hiring, right? So that's why TechSF decided to start, this collaboration with Department of Labor in JFF. So, this is something that is good as well, because we have students, right, that are interested in the program. They just have to sign up, and they a sign up sheet that we're going to be sharing with everyone. But also this applies as well. Let's say you have a job already, right? But you want to get certified. So it doesn't matter if you're not, it's better if people are like below the poverty line, because it's like for low income students. But again, employees can also apply for this certification, so they can bump into the ladder, right, wherever they're working. So to upskill the workforce, employers can send people over as well. So I know it's a lot of information in a little bit of time, but again, this is an amazing way that we people can get certified, right? And there is no charge for anyone. You just have to go through a process. It's gonna be probably directly with me, and after, we just have to do some referrals, and they're in. So it's just a matter of, again, having the student. This is a hard certification, right? But again, this is going to be really useful for everyone that applies.
Absolutely. And you said something key there, Miguel, that, like you said, like, it's not just something for the San Francisco Bay Area. I know every job that I've had, and I'm on the East Coast, a lot of our job descriptions say CompTIA certification preferred, like whether it be A+ or Network Plus or whatever it is. We definitely we understand the importance of those certificates. So that is awesome. That is really awesome. So So hey, listen, believe it or not, I told you, Orrian, this would happen. Like, we're almost at the end of the show already. We've been on here for a little while, so I wanna save some time for each of you to for like your call to action for our listeners, whether they be people that are looking to get into your program or employers that could benefit from grabbing people, or even us, on this live stream show that could use some interns, right?
Right, definitely. Yeah. So pretty much the call to action is a couple of like bullets that we have it. We have a strong pipeline of learners, right? Already signing up for this free programs. But if you are interested, let us know. We can, we just have to follow the process and get you into the program. That will be as easy as that. But one of the most important things is, like, people get certified. What happens after if they don't have a job, right? So this is a really, a call of action for all the employers out there. please, if you have any positions open, if you have internships, if you have apprenticeships, if you have anything to get our students into jobs, into their careers, that would be amazing. We need, again, internships, mentorships, apprenticeships are really important, especially for the diverse students that we serve, and they come from a non-traditional background, which means they don't have a 4-year college, right? But if we have employers willing to help, with jobs and anything, please reach out to us, and we can send some resumes over as well.
Orrian, you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, Tom, we've got an intern for you, so coming your way. Just watch out in your inbox. But yeah, Miguel touched on all of it. I mean, we're excited to be here because we want anybody listening to understand that, sure, we can provide you with free CompTIA A+ training and credentials. All you got to do is reach out to us in the San Francisco Bay Area. And then we also want employers to know that we've got a very talented pipeline that we're willing to put in front of you if you're looking for local IT talent. And then Miguel also touched on, if you have employees that you're looking to provide professional development for, look no further than TechSF and this Righty initiative. And then lastly, Miguel also touched on the other sites across the country. So other HDI chapters, maybe they follow SF HDI's lead and see how this pilot with us partnering goes, and then they can kind of glom on later. But that $1.5 million in CompTIA A+ training that is dedicated to San Francisco is similar funding amounts across the country. So love to just add to the IT training nationally.
I tell you what I'd like to do is ask you guys to follow up in an email to my production staff and give us those other locations if you're willing.
Sure.
We put them in the show notes for future. So let's move on. We're gonna close out the show here in a few minutes, but let's talk about how do they get a hold of you? Like how do they get in touch with either of you for this program in the San Francisco area?
Well, I think our emails should be connected to our little tiles, but in the follow-up notes, we'll include those as well as the links to this Righty initiative. And it's as simple as completing a Google interest form. It's a Google form, and then